Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and I am disappointed. Let down, what a waste this transfer deadline day has been. I normally do a video earlier in the day. I thought I will wait. There will be something big that happens today. Arsenal will sign a striker. Chelsea will do something. And nothing has happened. In fact, Man City, guess what? Man City are looking at a player from Porto, as if they haven't bought enough. Even Spurs are stealing players under the nose of Manchester United. I was saying they can't do it with trophies, but Tell heading to them. But apart from that, West Ham, Evan Ferguson, Villa with a couple of loan deals, Asensio and Rashford. And I sort of think that I said this in the summer. Get your comments in. What are your thoughts about your teams and also the January transfer deadline day in general? There used to be a time when get me my yellow tie, crunchy nut cornflakes, drives an Audi, yellow car. Slow Sports News. This used to mean something. I think PSR, FFP have made the transfer deadline day BS. Absolute rubbish. It's just not good anymore. It isn't. And I think that you've got to look at the components of it and say there is a very big reason. I cannot understand why Arsenal haven't bought a striker. I just don't understand it. Is it financial? Is it stupidity? Is it naivety? Liverpool are going to win this league title. Until you buy a striker, you won't win the league. You could win the league if you bought a striker. You might not, but you could. You could win the Champions League if you bought a striker. You might not, but you could. But could is better than won't. And also, that striker will be there next season to hit the ground running. I just think Arsenal have sort of put the white flag up. And then next season, your striker's got to hit the ground running. I just think it's pure stupidity. And what is it coming down to? PSR will save 10 million in the summer. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal look at it and go, we'll wait till the summer. These are clubs being run like businesses, not football clubs. If I own every football club in the history of the Premier League, if you look at it, has been successful based on spending money. Nobody's been successful based on, let's wait until the bank sheet says that we can do this and save a bit of money. It's bullshit. It really is bullshit. And it must be so frustrating for Arsenal. I look at Chelsea, they might be winning by the time you've won this, but have they got top four sewn up? No. If they win the Conference League, you don't go in the Champions League. So Chelsea have got to get fifth or above. They might do that. If they bought a striker, they would. And if you get in the Champions League, it's a guaranteed 80 million quid. And therefore the expenditure makes sense. But you're not buying a striker for 6 months. You're buying them for the next 3 or 4 years. So it's worthwhile anyway. And I'm not saying it's an easy market, but it is a market that you can do stuff in. And I mean, Chelsea spent all transfer window being linked to bloody Garnacho. Why do you need another winger? But the Arsenal one's irritating. And look, I'm on the United stand if you want to join me live now. I mean, I just can't speak about United. I mean, we've become a bottom half of the table team who doesn't want to spend money and is cutting costs. I mean, we've walked out the transfer window with Malacia, Anthony, Rashford gone and a 20-year-old left back. And Martinez is out for the season. So, I mean, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If you told me that on January the 1st, I'd have stayed in 2024. Yeah, absolutely shit. But I do have to look at things in a fair way, and this is why I'm doing the video, because we always do a video at the end of the transfer windows to sort of summarise as a community what we think. And I've said it in the summer, I've said it about VAR as well. I can see these problems coming, and I can see it with the transfer window as well. I think the element of competitiveness has disappeared as people look to spreadsheets and Excel spreadsheets, etc. I don't think clubs are making decisions based on footballing merits. I think they're making it based on business. And I think that it's a risky thing to do. I mean, even the likes of the Bournemouths and the Forests and even the Fulhams, they could be clubs that if they brought another player in, it could just give them the push to make sure they get European football. And I think too many clubs have gone, we'll wait till the summer. And is that, it's almost like the draft of the NFL. The summer transfer window is becoming the time that people do business now because of that June the 30th cutoff in your financial year. So everybody spends their money in the summer, and then it's like January, we can't really do anything. And it's stupidity, absolute stupidity, because if I'm running a race and halfway through that race, I get a half time and I go, get me an energy drink, change my trainers, run me a shower, give me a foot massage, can't afford any of it. We spent it on your trainers at the start of the race. He's having a bloody drink and a massage and a new pair of trainers. Yeah, because they've sort of planned ahead. We gave it you all at the start of the race. If you give it me now, I'd be refreshed. I'd probably finish in a higher position. I'm now trying to hold on with what I've got. I'm tired. I'm thirsty. And that's why I look at the January transfer window and go, it's a transfer window. It comes around every year. It's an opportunity, and those that do stuff in it have a bigger opportunity than those that don't. Even Man City's season is over, but they're buying players now to bed them in. Those 2 centre-backs they've bought, they're kids. Mamouche, look, he looks quite good now. He'll be better at the start of next season. They're bedding people in early. It's advantageous. Chelsea did it a couple of years ago. The January market is a good market if you're brave and you go and, flaunt your cash. And it surprises me as well with Arsenal because they actually bid for Ollie Watkins. So they expose the fact that they've got 60 million quid and then they don't do it. Now, Ollie Watkins is 29. Are you literally going to wait for a 29-year-old for the summer, or have you got someone else lined up? And if you've got someone else lined up, why did you bid 60 million on Watkins anyway? Make it make sense. Ollie Watkins will be 6 months older in the summer. He's nearly 30. So you need to get him now so you get the years out of him. Oh, no, he's not the one we want. We want Sesko. Why didn't you bid for Watkins then? What if you'd got Watkins? What happens to Sesko in the summer? So in one way, they're being brave and they're being, they're doing something. And in another, they're going, no, we're not going to do that. Look, maybe something exciting will happen in the last few hours, but you'd have expected that to have come out by now. I think the most the funniest one is, and I've spoken about it on the United Stand, is the Spurs one, getting Tell when he turned them down, and then he wants to come to Man United, and then the next thing he wants to come to go to Spurs. It'd be very interesting how that works out, because at 19 years of age, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal looked at it, and Spurs have done it. So Spurs could definitely do with a bit of a kickstart. But look, I look at Spurs and I go, you're not finishing in European spots in the league like Man United, but you are in the Europa League, and if you win the Europa League, you're in the Champions League. At least they've made changes to their squad. I mean, Disasi might go in there. He's not that good, but it's still somebody. I was saying this on the United Stand. It's the same for Arsenal. It's the same for Chelsea. Somebody is better than nobody. And you'll get people going, well, I'd rather have nobody than spend it on the wrong player. But all players are a risk. No one's asking you to go and pay £100 million for Weghorst. Everybody's a risk. Tell's a risk. Mamouche is a risk. These are deals that have happened in the January transfer window that somebody else could have done. I mean, I personally think, looking at Mamouche, I don't know why Arsenal, Chelsea weren't looking at him. Definitely better than Havertz and definitely better than Jackson. But Man City swoop in and do the deal. I think it might be a missed opportunity. If Arsenal win the league and Chelsea get top 4 and Spurs win the Europa League, or Man United win the Europa, Spurs have bought people, and Man United win the Europa League, it won't matter. But it's that risk. And also, let me just drop this. The Man United example is good. Man United are not going to be in Europe through their league. So they've got to win the FA Cup or win the Europa League. The FA Cup will get them back in the Europa League. It's tens of millions of pounds. Winning the Europa League will get them in the Champions League, which is about £80 million. Winning neither will leave a £50 million hole in our club for PSR purposes, and we will be in the shit. So if I own Man United, and I know there's a big chance we're not in Europe next year and it's going to cost me tens of millions of pounds, in January, I might find £5 million to do the Tell deal. I mean, we're literally hearing that Man United couldn't find £5 million to do the Tell loan deal. You could be losing 50 in the summer by not being in Europe, And this is the thing that they think fans are stupid about. Get your comments in. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, I think it's a bit of a waste. What a waste, and a bit of a letdown in certain areas. But to those clubs like Villa and Spurs who've done stuff, it's better than doing nothing. Thanks for watching. Take care.